Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, Destiny with Divya. Another session today, excitement of finding ways with which you can rearrange how experiences unfold for you in your life, which we call as destiny. Is it determined by some unknown forces? Is there something that we can do about it? Is there something that someone who has knowledge of spiritual principles in a way which many of us don't have, can she help us more in moving towards our destination of success, towards living a healthier life? I have the pleasure of welcoming once again to ITV Studio someone who we refer to as practicing holistic health and also working as life coach. One more aspect of her personality is she studied computer science, she worked in the corporate world, and she was working as vice president in an important company where she felt that there is a calling to change her focus and dedicate her whole energy in radiating the sense of healing for one and all. So I take this opportunity once again welcoming you and thanking you, Divyaji, for being with us today.
Namaskar.
Divyaji, let us start by learning, when we say holistic health, what do you mean?
First thing first is like holistic health, we need to understand that we are all like a natural people. Nature has definitely designed something for us somewhere, right? So there's like, if we eat it right way, if we take right kind of herbs. So herbs does not mean that it is always good for everyone. So my goal here is like my motto of my company, like the slogan is like not one size fits all. So when I am talking to somebody and I go by Ayurvedic principles, also like the nutrition principles, that yes, if you have like a certain kind of body type, certain kind of personality, your food type has to be different from other person. Maybe like 4 people in the same family might have to eat different kind of diet depending upon what they're going through. So sometimes like people are like super stressed and I'm like, okay, let's add this to your diet. I always believe in adding in. I do not believe in subtracting. So okay, add this. And purpose of doing that is like something which is not helping you will fall out first, right? So we keep adding new things and slowly people start feeling better. It's like, okay, I really felt better today. I was not stressed out. And it was just like they were eating like maybe some kind of protein which was like not good for them multiple times during the day, which was not going with them. So it is like sometimes like too much of fruit is also not good for you. So finding that balance and being a spiritual healer, since I can see things, I have studied Ayurveda, I have studied integrative nutrition. I did not started this just by fluke that, okay, I see things and I started. No, I did study. Although like those studies also came to me as gifts, like yes, the universe was showing me the path, but yes, I did study that. I passed my courses, I did my research, I did whatever was assignments I had to do. And I got a practicing license before I ventured out, and yes, things were happening that people were getting helped left and right. Everybody I was working with, they were getting helped. So
okay, let me interrupt you. And there was a time when you felt that you should have a structure of the way you connect with people, and Soulful Living LLC was born. How that happened and when was that?
So it was major breakthrough actually in my life started in 2009, that when I finished these healing sessions, like I learned things and so many things happened while I was in the sessions. So I came out of it, I was like, okay, I saw so many things and things which I did not know at all. Like there was no way I could figure that out, that how my grandfather died 15 years ago. I was given a story, but it just came to me that it was altogether a different story and whatever followed that. So I was like, okay, I was there in a meditation session. Maybe that was the time that I could see those things, or I could, what if I'm not in session? Will that ever happen to me?
So if you were not in that session, then you won't be exposed to that part of knowledge.
I had doubts about it, that if that would be possible. And a case came in front of me. My friend's friend in California, I'm in Pittsburgh, she's in California. She's like, can you help my friend's daughter? She's 18, high schooler. For 3 years, she's having a nerve disorder that has put her on wheelchair. And she's on wheelchair for almost like 3 years. Like, probably she started with like one leg was hurting. I was not even sure what that disease was. So I was like, okay. So she was like, she started with crutches. Now she cannot even walk. So she has wheelchair, and now her one hand is also like getting into the disease, and probably there's hardly any hope. Like, since I did not see that person, I did not have the first-hand experience. I could not feel the gravity of the pain they're going through. Okay, I was like, okay, have her talk to me, and we'll see what I can do. I connected with it. So this lady calls me, and we start talking. So she did not give me the complete background, and probably like she doesn't have trust that something will happen, but she had like nothing going on. They were with all kinds of doctors and nothing was happening. She was deteriorating every single day. She was like, okay, why not? Let me continue with her. So every time I started praying with her, probably there was some improvement was shown on that side. And whatever I was telling them, they weren't doing it like, okay, she's not telling me something to do which is like out of the world, or it's not practical. Just put this music or put this idol or whatever, simple things, whatever is coming. And that girl started getting better and better. So I was getting that she's getting better. So for 2-3 days, if I didn't pray for her, she would go down. And I was like, and then again I would start praying for her, she'll start getting better. Praying means like whatever I do, like a session, a special kind of prayers that I have learned. So after like 6 months, that girl was not only out of her wheelchair, she went to another state for doing her college. She was like completely independent. Like one of her classmates used to come every morning to take her to the class. He was always like with her to maneuver her wheelchair so that she can be comfortable at school. From being there, she was at a different state, a different place, not a different state. She was still in UCLA or someplace, and she finished her college. She's working with a very renowned company in California itself. So in September, like it started in January to June, like she was like completely, and I was like, really? And still I had no clue how much gravity that issue was having in that life. September.
Okay, so sorry.
Yeah.
No, I just thought if there is a power in prayers, then people always think that I pray to God, or they say thank God, each one of us. So I know there must be some special way in which you pray, or something that you have learned. I mean, is it something which you would say you were chosen to learn it? Is it something it was because of your intuitive interest that led you to learn this? Sorry to interrupt. I just want to add. So if someone who is watching and they say, okay, so what she's saying is fine, so prayer works. Basically, from what we heard, there is a palpable result of the prayers on the person. So why not anyone can do it, and why only some people can do it better than others?
Like why, you can ask me a question like why everybody can't play cricket, or why everybody can't sing,
right?
Why everybody can't dance. It is as simple as that.
I'll take that. Because I want to move towards the other side where you mentioned about Ayurveda, and if you wanted to continue with something, please continue. But I see that each one is different. You said the food composition for each family members would vary based on what they need, etc. So the little bit that I heard about Ayurveda, we hear about Vat, Pitta, Kapha. You want to say something how in your way of healing that knowledge of which kind of a dominant personality type the person is, do you take that also into account?
So first thing first, like let me just quickly give you the background. So once I started working on this realm, I felt that we need to work on outside. So I am what I do is like when I am working, like I call myself cosmic healer, okay? And I have an ability to connect to divine, and probably I have practiced this for so many years that I immediately can connect it versus somebody else who will take 10 days or 5 days or 5 minutes, right? So when I was working on it, that like the results will come very effectively if we also approach it from other means. So that is how the life coaching or health coaching came into my life, that okay, if you eat right, okay, if you eat right, that is gonna control your breath, okay? If I help you learn some meditation, simple meditation techniques, that will help you control your mind. I'm already working on certain aspects of your life, like the patterns that you have generated in many lives. So I'm working on that part too. So yes, now, yes, I take into account. It is like also interrelated. So I feel this like four legs of a table, say. If your life has to be stable, physical life, emotional life, your intellectual life, and your spiritual life, all four of that has to be balanced. Intellectual, I would divvy up into career and finance for an adult, okay? So if your physical life means physical body is in good shape, you do not have to stress about it. You're energetic, you're healthy, and you can, without getting stressed, you will be able to accomplish your task versus the person who has like knee pain, back pain, right? Then second part is like emotional wellness. If somebody is going to a divorce and somebody who's having a wonderful family life, a very loving husband, a very loving children, everything going well, there's lots of happiness, love and laughter, whom do you think would be better performer at work? One who is like going through divorce and worrying about all the time where the finance will come from, if who, which children is going to whom, versus somebody who's so contented in their family life.
So obviously the one who is at
no
peace,
guesswork, right? Anybody can say who will perform better. Coming to intellectual life, somebody who's passionate about doing something, and somebody about, oh, again, oh my God, thank God it's Friday, oh my God, it's Monday, watch 5 o'clock, when, who will perform better? Again, no brainer, right? Financial states. If you have like enough that if you want to go on a vacation, or if whatever you want to do with your life, you don't have to stress about it. Versus a person who's like, oh my God, my dad is sick, my mom is sick, I have to pay this debt. Who will perform better? Obviously, we know the obvious answers here. So I just took, when I was going through all this, and somehow like, I would say like, you might say like, somebody is born to be a singer, or somebody is born to be a cricketer, or somebody is born to be a chess player. So similarly, I think I had to do something as well, right? So I found all these answers rise in spiritual understanding. Not about that how many times you go to the temple. It is like how you understand the spirituality. And that's where the thing came to me, that it is all about raising your vibrations. So the work I do is basically like cleaning. So like you have a cleaning lady coming to your house. She comes and makes your house sparkling clean. But then when she leaves, and if she doesn't come back again, your house starts again collecting dirt. She comes back again. So I come back like on a weekly basis to clean up, right? But at the same time, I teach you how to keep yourself clean. I do not leave you by cleaning yourself. So I clean you today and you feel astounding. It was awesome. I had, like, somebody had migraine pain for 6 months, worked on her. 2 days she had no pain, third day pain came back. She's like, why? It should have gone forever. Like, see dear, you are suffering from this pain for 7-10 years. 2 days, 1 session, be patient. Stay with me. So, you know, like first time you do the cleaning, it's like the iceberg. So you just clean up the tip of the iceberg, you start feeling better, it looks cleaner. But there's so much in there. So step by step, like every week we meet, I clean. At the same time, I teach you how to clean yourself, give you tools to practice every day.
So I'm interrupting again, Divyaji, just to recollect that she has, should I say, special powers or special ability or whatever be the word when we refer to holistic health, and we talk about how spiritual dimension is also relevant in terms of attaining a healthy state of physical being, and in what way she connects with us or people she has connected with. Were helped by her. The whole process we may or may not understand, but it it makes sense when you see the palpable results of people who got in touch with her through soulfullivingllc.com, and the email and phone number we will be displaying again about Divyaji. But what I wanted to bring to our attention with her help at the moment, she mentioned about maybe it was her destiny. If not, maybe she said it was her destiny. So each one is destined. Then what is the reference of changing your destiny? So what happens is when people feel bad, they are down, they feel that this is my destiny. So you came across people, you must have come across people who feel that, oh, because I'm suffering because this is how it is for me. Now, how you help them change their attitude? And as you were mentioning about, oh, again. So if you, if you are optimistic, then the world is different for you. So do you help on that level also, where people start connecting with life in a different and positive manner?
That is my daily job. I do it every single day. Every single day, I have people have like all kinds of issues. So when I'm talking about 4 legs, it's very apparent that if somebody is having health issue, eventually he's gonna have relationship issues, financial issues. If somebody is having emotional issues, they will have be impacting physical and intellectual life too. So being in a good shape in all the areas of your life is extremely important in order to reach your highest potential. Now, what is potential? What do you call potential? So it's like I'm destined to be poor, or I'm destined to be this, like ye meri kismat, this is my destiny, that's why I'm suffering. I'm like, no. If we are the part of that, you call it God, you call it superconscious, you call it energy. We have to accept that there's something else which is governing all of us, right? There's like, we can be as powerful as I can be, but tomorrow is an earthquake, and it doesn't differentiate between how poor or how rich you are. You all are gonna be doomed at the same time. So why even so we all have that potential. Now, where is that potential? Show me the potential. And the potential is within us. It is just, I trigger that potential. That yes, it's the potential. And being in the part of like corporate world, like I've generally worked as a project management consultant or software management consultant. Designations doesn't mean anything to me. My whole journey throughout, even in my career, was like how I can make things easier, how I can make the process easier for people. And this is where I came in, that okay, so we were talking about Vata Pitta Kapha. Vata Pitta Kapha has a very important role, that what kind of personality type we have and what kind of sufferings we are having. So, and then it's like a whole realm that we can just talk about, like a whole episode can go into it, that how our 5 elements, which is earth, water, fire, air and space, how these things relate to us and how those things affect our abilities to do things. So everybody knows that we are made up of Panchabhutas, which is 5: earth, water, fire, air, space, which are the 5 elements from which we perceive things, right? Hearing, smelling, touching, tasting, hearing, right? So there's like 5 elements, and those 5 elements govern our perceptions. So very clearly, like for you, hot might be between 60 to 80 degree Fahrenheit. For some people, hot may be 40 to 60 Fahrenheit. For some people, hot may be 90 to 100 Fahrenheit. So from where this is coming? What's the truth? What is the term hot in the climate? It is based on our perceptions, that what we have experienced in our past, and based on those experiences we can say, oh, it's 60 degree, I do not have to wear a coat today. But if somebody is from like a very hotter climate, say southern Africa or maybe southern part of India, it's very hot climate, it's like 60 degree, I need to wear a cap, right? So anything for us, which is like for us 60 to 80 is normal, anything which falls below or above, we are like, this is not normal. And that is where like this is abnormal and now we need to treat it. As we grow in spirituality, our normal grows and becomes this. So you become more accepting. The more accepting you become, the more compassion you will have. As we grow spiritually, we do not differentiate between victimizer and victim. We can see the pain. I'm not talking about extreme cases that somebody murdered somebody, but like a mother is angry on her child. Is she, and from the outsider, people might think, oh my God, look at her mom, she screams so much. Nobody can see the pain the mom is going through. She's looking like a victimizer, and the child is looking like a victim. But who's the victimizer and who's the victim? Maybe the child is not doing something that mom can accept. Like she's like, oh my God, my child is not studying, he's watching TV all day, whereas he or she should be studying, and she's getting pain out of it. But I'm a mother too, so I know what moms go through when their kids perform or outperform or underperform. But with the like understanding of spirituality, you become broader. You can see things. You can be compassionate to your child. So being like a spiritual healer, for me, both are same. I do not differentiate between a victim and victimizer. I can see the pain of a victimizer too. And when I kill the victimizer, the pain which the victimizer is having, there will be no victim. Or
so these are some important, call them principles of life. And when Divya says that by growing in spiritual understanding, she can see victim as well as the one who is victimizing with the same light. These things make sense. But what makes more sense is she in a position to help me as life coach and bring her holistic health understanding to me in a way which helps me live in a healthy manner, which helps me connect with the prosperous side of life, which helps me in manifest abundance. So we will be talking in more sessions about how her presence or her role as life coach has helped people in manifesting abundance, and I'm talking about wealth. How that and spiritual understanding connect, or is there something substantial that can happen in our lives if we connect and look at association with Soulful Living LLC in a way as we train ourselves in any skill to grow and to become expert. So we want to become expert of living life in a way which is enriching. Now bringing back to the reference of Ayurveda, and you were referring to, and I also know that you work with herbs. So how Ayurveda and herbs complement each other in terms of your desire to help someone live with the totality of their being, and where did you learn? I learned about some products related to tea, etc., that you yourself make, and you probably have them designed specially for the need of a particular person.
Yes, I do that. So first thing first, like we talked about wealth, so there were multiple questions, so I'll just tackle them one by one. So first is like how we can lead a life of abundance. So when I was talking about victim and victimizer, so victimizer could be a situation victimizer could be a circumstances, people, like it could be anything. So one way is like looking at it like, I do not have a good financial status, like I need more abundance in my life. The moment first is like, oh, that's my destiny, I do not have money. But the moment you say, I want abundance in my life, it is like giving an indicator to the universe. Like if you got changing lane, you give an indicator that I'm going to change this lane, right? The moment you give this indicator, the person behind you knows that you need to, after 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe fifth person will give you the way and you can get into the changed lane, right? Same as with the prosperity, that the moment you decide that I want to have a prosperous life, abundant life, you have already given an indicator to the universe. But next step is like, I will not say that it is just coming to me, but everybody who came to me, it was an indicator to the universe that I'm ready. The moment they said I was ready, and the cosmic healing started falling on them. Okay, now all these elements that we talked about, earth, water, fire, air, space. Earth is related to what? Stability. Earth is related to stability. That means the money, your fear, your faith, all of these is like, if it is like earth element is more, you will be a hoarder and you will be like bloated, you will have a heavier body. If you have too less in earth, you will have a thin body, like the earth element is less in your body, so there will be less stability. If you are okay, like you will be like in center, like a medium, right? You will not be hoarding anything, you will not be losing anything, like you will not leave everything on the table, but you will be in center and you will be able to move. Now the second element is what? Water. So water element is associated with the water element in our body. So your tears and blood, all these things are like water element. You can list and guide yourself, like what are the water elements. So the person who's like very emotional, like crying all the time, right? Or like their emotional body is like closed, they will not be able to love. So emotional body is more about like I would say a sexuality or creativity. I will more call it creativity. So if you have that channel opened, you will be more creative with the opportunities you have in hand. Whereas if it's closed, even if the opportunities will be in front of you, you will not be able to see it. And once I align you, so there are several ways that I work on it. It is not just the cosmic healing I do. I also give them specific techniques, which is sound, color, smell. So we will talk about it more, but for further going.
So I think what you said is really the destiny of today's conversation. We'll talk about it more and how all these sound, touch, etc. become an integral part of our healing process or of our ability to connect with the wholesome side of life and lead a healthy life. With the help of Divya, we will learn more about that in the next session, and I'm also interested in talking about how to manifest abundance, in what way holistic health understanding and as life coach Divya has helped people in generating the kind of vibrations which help them in moving towards the direction of creating abundance or having things align in a fashion which would help resolve some of the pending issues in terms of in terms of getting the payment or in terms of getting the contracts. All these things are interrelated, yet they don't seem to be related to each other in a logical fashion, sometimes from a pragmatic point of view. So there are many layers of understanding which we will be uncovering in this series called Destiny with Divya. But for now, I would thank you for joining us today, Divya ji, and may people take advantage of connecting with Soulful Living LLC. And parting words from you in today's show, anything that you would like to say?
I would say be yourself, be honest to yourself. Always when you are in pain, try to reason it out that why I am in pain, why I am in pain, so that you can see where your weak spots are, what exactly is hurting in you and what needs to be mended. do not point fingers on the person in front of you or the circumstances in front of you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Be true to yourself and be honest with yourself is the mantra from today's Soulful Living LLC company founder Divya Madan ji in this show Destiny with Divya. Thanking her for joining us and with lots of good wishes thanking all of you for being with us. This is Ashok Vyas.